Hello everybody, it's me Jared724 here, and today I am in the Mob Island world. If you could look at the bottom of the screen and see, I am here with some of my friends, Blue Jay Davy, who played Bob in Mob Island. Say hi, Davy.
Greetings.
I am here with MegaRay21, who played Angela in Mob Island. And of course, I am with JBlockman1, who played Bones in Mob Island. Unfortunately, the other actors, such as Rogwa who plays Mr. Weaswealthy, he was not able to make the recording. JSF Gaming, who played Fernando, will not be in the recording. And Snowy Boy 2, who played Fizz, will not be in the recording. Today we are making a video that we are unfortunately we are unfortunately stuck to make. Unfortunately, the Mob Island series has to come to an end. And I know there are a lot of you out there that are very interested in the story. There are a lot of you out there that want to know what happens next, and we will share that with you in this video. But for the sake of time, and for the sake of interest, the Mob Island series cannot continue. It is simply not possible. The heart of some of the actors in the show has been lost. The interest of some of the actors in the show has been lost. And it has just kind of, in the past couple of months, since you guys haven't seen some recent episodes, it has kind of fallen apart. And we haven't really shared it with really anyone. And we're going to explain what has happened, why we've come to this decision. And we want you to know that it was a team decision. This is not like a repeat of what happened to the Hunt for Herobrine many years ago, way back when. This was not a planned conclusion of the series. This was not unplanned. This was bound to happen, and unfortunately it has in the peak of the story. But I am now going to let some of my other friends speak on their views on what's been going on, and we're going to start with the left, and that is Blue Jay Davy.
Well, personally, I really did enjoy Mob Island. I enjoyed filming with all of you guys and everything, and actually producing this series, just because it was a lot of fun to, be on every weekend and record. So it's kind of sad to see it go so soon at the peak of the story, when we could have, continued. But I mean, things happen. But in the future, we are planning several projects. I won't really, release anything or say anything about some of them, but there is one that we are thinking about working on that is based in the Lost Tides universe as a prequel for one of our characters in Lost Tides. So hopefully that's one of the things that will make up for the loss of this series.
Yeah, a lot of things that's been going on, guys, is that we know that this is a really hard loss for you guys. We don't want to have to end the series without, apologizing in some way, and the way we're going to apologize is by giving you guys some more projects that we promise we're not going to quit, because we are going to be 100% interested and willing to do them. And I know the feedback for Lost Tides was huge, and Davey is right in the sense that we are going to think about start planning something like that. But we're definitely planning some projects that are going to make up for the loss of the series, and that is why I want you all to know that everything is going to be alright in that sense, that this series is not going to end and nothing's going to happen. The series is going to end, and a lot of stuff is going to follow in back of it that all of us standing right here are working on. With J Block going off to college, actually, it might be a little tougher for future projects, but he'll get into that in a bit. Next, we're going to go on to Mega Ray 21, who played Angela in the series, a relatively new character.
Well, I am relatively new to recording with JRH, and I will honestly say that I enjoyed every second of filming this series. It was fun, it was heartwarming, it was a great series, and I especially enjoyed being able to express acting abilities, be able to play a character. And I'm sad to see it go, but also at the same time I'm excited for what we might do in the future. Yes, I would have loved to continue Mob Island, and I appreciated what everybody said about my performance since I'm so new here. And I definitely think that I am definitely going to continue, and I'm going to most likely show up in future projects, and I would love to work on more series in the future. And yeah, that's really it. I'm gonna miss this series a lot, is what I mean.
Yeah, we want you guys to know how sorry we are, because when we started this series, it took off great. A lot of you guys liked it, and you're probably very confused on why it's ending and the specifics, and we're gonna get into that. So the next person to speak is J-Block. You guys haven't seen J-Block for a bit, since the last episode, but he's here now to discuss on real reasons on why it's really going down, and then after that I'll explain another big reason. So J-Block, if you want to begin.
One of the things that happened was, as time kept going on, I found that while I would still loved the characters and the world we had built, the sheer dedication that came with doing this skit every weekend, it became very difficult to do, and over time I just felt more and more burned out, to a point where I feel like I can no longer give you guys the 100% performance that I feel you guys all deserve, and I wouldn't want to give you guys any less than that, and I feel like I just couldn't go on anymore. And going off to college soon, if I tried to keep this going, it would have been held up for maybe even months on end, due to me moving away for college, and I wouldn't want to make you guys wait like that. And it was one of the reasons why I approached Jared so that we could talk about this, and we all agreed. I just want to say I'm sorry that I couldn't keep up. I couldn't be the best I could be for you guys.
Yeah, guys, so with J-Block moving to college, the ability for us to do a series like this at this point in the story is simply not possible. If the series was probably a little closer to the end, like a few episodes, maybe like one episode, then we would be able to work around that. But at the current point inside the story, it's not possible. And for a little bit of that, I am to blame for wasting a lot of time, wasting a lot of time not doing Mob Island. Specifically, a year ago, last summer, I spent most of the summer not working on anything YouTube related, as some of you guys will remember. So, before we go into how the story ended, I want to let you guys know that before J-Block shared how he felt regarding Mob Island, the series was still gonna happen, but something else happened. Another actor quit. At the current point in time, I'm not exactly sure if I should share. In the future, I might be able to, but another actor who is a decently sized role decided that he was no longer interested either, due to the lack of attention the series was receiving, which is not as different as J-Block. J-Block's heart was just not in it anymore because he didn't feel like it was possible. The attention of the series was too low for this one actor, so he decided he couldn't do it anymore. I'm not going to share the actor or the role at this current point in time. I might do that in the future. But when that happened, that's kind of how the series started breaking apart. And with 2 main roles missing, the series cannot go on. And I know you guys are going to say, why don't you do replacements? Replacements aren't going to work because, unfortunately, there's just nobody that can. I as the director and editor of this production, I just don't like replacement actors. They don't feel right, they don't look right, they don't sound right, they're just not right. Like, if we get another Bones with a different, like, voice, it just doesn't feel like the same character. And it just doesn't feel right. So, I just want you guys to know that there are going to be no replacements. The universe won't be necessarily shut down. We might do something in the far, far future regarding Mob Island. I don't know if it's going to stay like this forever and ever, but at the current point in time, the series has to end. Alright, now guys, we are going to explain what happened at the end of the story. So if I could have Davey, if you could go into the chest towards the right real quick.
Yep.
Alright, so just grab everything out of it. So now guys, we're going to explain what happens towards the story. So what was going to happen was, in the next episode of Mob Island, we were going to go to Fizz's house, and Fizz was going to be returned from testing with Ender Pearls. Fizz was going to explain to us what happened with his family. And once he explained what happened with his family, because he found a journal in a temple a while ago, he was going to learn what was going on there. After that, he was going to explain that there are orbs that are broken. And these orbs, there is a green broken orb, there is a gray broken orb, there is a dark blue broken orb, and there is a black broken orb. I believe, Davey, if you want to place those down.
Yeah. Black, blue, green, gray.
And these orbs, if they were repaired with high amounts of technology, would turn into the regular black, blue, green, and gray orbs, which Davey also has in his inventory right there. Once these orbs were applied to each mob, they would turn into a super evolved version of themselves. J-Block, what was the correct term for it?
The term was mutant form?
The term was mutant form, correct. They were going to turn into an evolved mutant form.
Okay, Bob would have been a very large brute like this.
Bob would have turned into that as his mutant form. They are a little glitchy, but it's definitely interesting.
Bones would have turned into a larger version of a skeleton with a larger bow.
Bones would have turned into this, also quite interesting.
Fizz would have turned into a much, much taller Enderman.
Not forgetting, let's remember, guys, when Fizz figured out things about his family, he learned that Endermen were once extremely respected mobs until you know, stuff happened regarding the End and the Ender Dragon that caused a lot of controversy. So Fizz had an orb, and Endermen used to be leaders alongside creepers, zombies, and skeletons until the Ender Dragon came and invaded the overworld and had to be banished to the End. That is a completely different story I might explain at a later date.
Eason would have turned into a large, terrifying looking creeper.
From this point, the humans would have basically tried to destroy the village and take the land. And so, you know, the mobs obviously would have to resist them here. And they had to prepare for the humans' arrival. And while the humans were attacking, it looks at first that the mobs would be losing. And then the giant would nobly sacrifice himself
for the good of the village, making all those who feared him in the village realize he wasn't really that bad of a guy, and in his memory, they would beat back the humans, and they would eventually win. The humans would leave the island, and the mobs would have won, and they would have gotten to keep their island, and they would have learned that humans exist and that they should be careful if they ever see any other humans ever again.
So yes, guys, the big bad giant from part 3 would have came and sacrificed himself so that all the mobs could live, and scaring off all the humans. After all the humans left, the mobs would go into a rejoice celebration in which Fizz became an accepted mob. Now, that's how the story would have went. It probably would have had a lot of different ups and downs, with little side stories and whatnot, but that's basically the direction the story was going in. Not so much a sad ending except for the giant, but you don't really grow too close to the giant since he's quite a bit of a distant character. That is how Mob Island would have ended. That is basically the direction we are taking it in. If you have any questions, just put them in the comments. We'd be happy to answer them. I'm so sorry that it had to go this way. But there are projects coming that will make up for it, and I can promise you guys that. I know J-Block made promises that he wouldn't quit like this, but if you would if you listen to what he said, you would understand that it's just not possible for him to continue this series at this current point in time in his life.
All I can really say is I really do wish we could have finished this series, because I really have grown to love the universe and the characters in it. But I mean, as you've said and Julian has said, I mean, it's not really possible to continue, and maybe one day we'll do some sort of story that ties in with Mob Island in the far future, but for now it's just not possible. But it's unfortunate, but it's how it has to be.
I'm still sad about seeing series go. We put so much time and effort into it, but yes, there was really no other way we could have done this. This is just how it had to go. But I do look forward to working on projects in the future and helping out. We may even do something like this in the future. That's not a certain possibility, and I would definitely sign on to help make something like that too. So yeah.
Yeah, I can't wait to see what we can make in the future, guys. It's going to be very exciting for sure.
I just have to reiterate that I'm really, really sorry that things had to go this way. If circumstances were different, I'm sure we would have been able to keep continuing the series, but the way things have been going, I'm sorry that I had to be one of the factors to why, if anything, one of the bigger factors as to why this series couldn't continue, and I'm deeply, deeply sorry for that, and I hope that what we have planned in the future will at least let you guys forgive me.
Yeah, guys, again, we can't really explain what we are going to do, but I guarantee you guys are going to like it. So, we're going to see you in the next video, guys. I know that my recent videos have been just extremely brutally honest videos, but this is just the way it is. I'm going to keep you guys posted on what we're going to do, and I'm sure that our next project will be started very soon. Any questions, guys, leave them in the comments. Everyone here in this video will probably be answering them. So thank you guys so much for watching, and again, I'm sorry, but it's just the way it is. But I'm sure this won't happen again, guys, and I know this is a repeat of something that happened years ago, but I want you to know that this is a different reasoning. Alright, guys, we'll see you in the next video, and we will see you next time. Whoa, what's going on?